VW under fire yet again, just days after Volkswagen admitted it installed software on their diesel models to help pass emissions tests. Some VW motorists are now being investigated by Congress.
Now, a reported $50 million in clean energy tax credits were improperly shared with certain VW car owners, with 60,000 of them receiving over $1,000 per vehicle in these improper credits. Joining us now with her reaction is the host of Sunday Morning Futures, Maria Bartiromo. So, most of the time when we hear about this story, it's if you have a VW, what do you do about it? But what do the taxpayers do about these tax credits that sort of became phantom? And do you ever get the money back?
People are not getting the money back. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. Taxpayers basically paid for all of these so-called green energy cars, and then they gave out all these tax breaks. And now we recognize that this was a fraud and, in fact, not green at all. So taxpayers are just out the money, unfortunately. Right. I mean, this is one of those wrong-headed policies where not only taxpayers lost money, but the EPA and its new regulations and the cost of those regulations have actually also impacted business to the extent that businesses are sitting on cash and they're not hiring, and you've got an economy that is stuck in the mud.
When you talk about grabbing the reins on policy, somebody who has a big impact on all kinds of economic policy is the Speaker of the House. And a lot of people wondering, and I know you're going to get into it on your show this morning, Paul Ryan the guy or not? You
know that he's considering this all weekend. You could only speculate what he's going to say, but I think he's got a lot of support in terms of this job. We're going to talk with Congressman Peter King and Mimi Walters. We're going to talk about what they feel are the most important skill sets to take this job, and really importantly, who is going to bring the two sides or the divisions together. I think Paul Ryan can do it.
This shakeup, though, has been roiling Washington, but it's also Wall Street paying attention to what's going on there, worried about a government shutdown, what's going to happen with the budget. How is Wall Street responding to the turmoil right now?
So far, not a major reaction in terms of markets and investors, but people are recognizing that there's a bit of a revolution going on within the Republican Party. And by the way, maybe that's what they need, because people are so angry that in many cases, the GOP has gotten rolled over by the president's agenda. And right now, the president has an opportunity to push his agenda through aggressively while there is this uncertainty there. In terms of markets, they're looking at an economy that is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We're going to talk with Ben Bernanke this morning, the former chairman of the Federal Reserve. And even that conversation, I've got to tell you, suggested to me that he's fine with interest rates staying where they are and that the Federal Reserve doesn't have to raise interest rates in 2015. Why? Because the economy is so fragile. And it all goes back to the regulatory environment. EPA, Obamacare, Dodd-Frank costing business too much money, and they're not hiring
Major
workers.
Decisions coming. A big impact on the economy, big impact on that campaign that's playing out right now as well, Maria.
Absolutely.
We'll all be watching.
The show starts in 12 minutes. Sunday Morning Futures. Maria, thanks so much, as always.
Thank you.